Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there lived a kind and beautiful princess named Elara. Her kingdom was surrounded by lush forests, tall mountains, and sparkling rivers. The people of the kingdom loved her dearly, for she was gentle, wise, and always helped those in need. However, there was one thing that weighed heavily on her heart. Her kingdom was under a terrible curse. The curse had been cast many years ago by an evil sorcerer who had been banished from the kingdom. In his anger, he cursed the land to fall into eternal winter, and the only way to break the curse was to find the Silver Lake, a mystical place hidden deep within the forest, and bring back a single silver feather from the magical swan that lived there. But the path to the Silver Lake was said to be dangerous and filled with trials, and no one had ever returned from the journey. One stormy night, as Elara sat by the fire, the royal advisor came to her with troubling news. The kingdom's crops had withered, and the people were suffering more than ever. The princess knew it was time to break the curse. She called upon her trusted horse, Thunder, and prepared herself for the long journey ahead. "I will go," she declared, her voice full of resolution. "I will bring back the silver feather and save our people." The royal advisor, although worried, nodded in agreement. "You are the hope of our kingdom, princess. May the stars guide you on your way." And so, Elara set off on her journey, her heart full of hope, her mind focused on her mission. The forest was dark and quiet as she rode through it, the only sounds being the rustle of leaves beneath Thunder's hooves. As they ventured deeper into the woods, the path grew narrower and more difficult to follow. Strange noises echoed around them, and eerie shadows danced in the corners of her eyes. But Elara pressed on, determined to succeed. On the third day of her journey, she came across a small clearing in the forest. In the center stood a towering tree, its bark covered in shimmering silver moss. At the base of the tree, an old woman sat knitting a scarf from threads of gold. "Ah, a traveler. What brings you to this part of the forest, dear child?" Elara, though wary, approached the woman. "I seek the Silver Lake to break the curse upon my kingdom. I must find a silver feather from the swan that resides there." The old woman's eyes sparkled. "Ah, the Silver Lake," she mused. "Many have sought it, but few have returned. The journey is perilous, filled with traps and trials, but I can help you, dear one." With a wave of her hand, the woman conjured a small, glowing amulet. "This amulet will guide you through the forest and protect you from harm. But remember, it is your heart that will lead you to success, not the amulet alone." Elara thanked the woman and placed the amulet around her neck. As soon as she did, the tree before her parted, revealing a hidden path leading further into the forest. With a final nod to the old woman, Elara continued on her way. The deeper she went into the forest, the more strange and beautiful it became. Flowers bloomed in colors she had never seen before, and the trees seemed to whisper ancient secrets. But the air grew colder, and the winds began to howl as she approached the heart of the forest. On the fifth day of her journey, Elara came to a wide river. The water flowed swiftly, its surface shimmering with an unnatural light. Standing by the riverbank was a majestic stag with glowing silver antlers. Its eyes met Elara's, and she knew instantly that this was no ordinary creature. "You wish to cross the river, princess?" asked the stag, in a voice that was both gentle and firm. "Yes," Elara replied. "I must reach the Silver Lake to save my kingdom." The stag nodded. "Then you must answer me this question. What is the most powerful force in the world?" Elara thought for a moment. "Love," she said softly. "Love is the most powerful force. It is what connects us all." The stag's eyes gleamed with approval. "You are wise, princess. Love is indeed the most powerful force. You may cross." With that, the stag stepped aside, allowing Elara to pass. She waded into the river, which, to her surprise, was warm and gentle. The water parted for her, guiding her to the other side. As she continued on her journey, Elara grew tired, but the thought of her kingdom kept her going. Finally, after many days, she reached the Silver Lake. The water shimmered in the moonlight, and in the center of the lake, she saw the swan. Its feathers were silver and white, and it glided gracefully across the water, leaving a trail of sparkling light behind it. Elara approached the lake's edge and knelt down. She could feel the power of the place, the magic in the air. The swan stopped before her, its eyes looking into hers. It spoke, its voice soft and melodic. "You seek my feather, princess, but do you understand the true cost of breaking the curse?" Elara nodded. "I understand. My kingdom is suffering, and I will do anything to save them." The swan's eyes softened. "Then take the feather, but remember, true love and selflessness are the keys to saving your kingdom. The feather alone will not break the curse unless your heart remains pure." With those words, the swan plucked a single silver feather from its wing and dropped it into Elara's hands. The princess felt a surge of warmth and light as the feather glowed brightly in her palm. Elara returned to her kingdom, where the people eagerly awaited her. She approached the royal castle, the silver feather glowing brightly in her hands. As soon as she entered the gates, the curse was lifted. The winter melted away, and the flowers bloomed once more. The sun shined brightly, and the people of the kingdom rejoiced. Elara had saved her kingdom, not just with the feather, but with her pure heart, her kindness, and her love for her people. From that day forward, the kingdom flourished, and Elara became known as the Princess of Light, a ruler whose heart was as pure as the silver feather that had saved them all. The end.